How you doing, everybody? John Kobaska with the Foxbody Den right here. Today I'm joined with my co-host, Carl from 631 Coatings,
Hey guys.
Ryan Jugdeo,
What's up?
and Lee CCW Fox.
What's up, Pete?
All right, welcome back to the show. Today's guest is Blake Darling, owner of one of the most recognizable SN95 Mustangs in the Mustang world. It's called SloRide. Blake has owned this 1996 Mustang GT for 26 years and has rebuilt the car multiple times over these years as both the Mustang scene and his own vision has evolved. Chances are, if you spent time online watching Mustang videos over the last 15 to 20 years, you've probably seen the car at some point. Today we're going to talk about the history of the car, how it evolved through multiple versions and rebuilds, some of the most iconic videos associated with it, the evolution of the SN95 platform, and also touch on Blake's super clean 1988 Foxbody GT build as well. Blake, welcome to the show, buddy.
Thank you guys for having me.
Welcome. So Blake, starting off, how long you've been into Mustangs? Give the audience a little bit of a bio.
It's probably, as long as I can remember, honestly. The black car that was my first car, and I remember, actually, funny story, I was supposed to buy a Foxbody, a white Foxbody, hence why.
That's where you messed up, man.
Yeah. So I was originally supposed to buy a white Foxbody as my first car, and it was so long ago, it was still at a dealership, and that car ended up getting sold out from underneath me, and the next car in line was my SN. So that was it. From 16 on, I bought that, and it's been Mustangs from then on out.
Wow. Hey, well, quick question though. How much was that Fox body you were supposed to buy back then? How much was it?
So this was in 2000. It was a 92 GT white on gray leather auto. Unfortunately, it was auto. But it was, if I remember right, it was about $7,800 at a dealer.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How times have changed.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. Times have
Right.
changed. I bet that thing was cherry too, right? For
Oh,
3,800 bucks.
and it wasn't even that old if you think back then. This is year 2000, so it was a
Oh yeah.
92. It wasn't even that old.
Now, Blake, did
Yeah.
you ever imagine owning this car 26 years later?
Uh, no, if you had asked me when I first got it, would I still have this thing 30 years or nearly 30 years later? Probably not. No.
So before we go any further, though, I want to share the screen right here, and I want to show you some pictures of SloRide that Blake shared with us. So give me 1 second. I've got to pull this up. Window right here. Can you guys see this right here?
Yeah.
Blake, what year is that, Blake?
That's probably circa 2004.
Okay, you drag racing there at what, Island Dragway?
Yeah, that's an Island Dragway.
That's a long time ago. I remember. I could see the pyramids in the background and all that.
That's Long Island, right? Island Dragway?
No. This is New Jersey. Still, this strip is still there, too.
Okay. All right, next, look at you doing a burn out there. Is that on the New Jersey Road?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
this is probably 2002-ish.
Okay. And Blake,
That's 2000. So it was like that from like 2016 to 2018 probably. Or well, the two-tone was from 2008 to like 2016, but that actual combo with those wheels, cars had probably like 35 wheels on it.
Jesus.
I like that. I like that two-tone version, man. That's pretty. I think it'll still go good right now.
Yeah, I feel like it's dated now, but there was a time where, it was different, but a good different. Now I don't know.
Looks like the same garage too.
It is. So this is at my house now. So when I moved in, I still had it like that. So
That's pretty cool. So those that you shared just 3 photos of your car in the earlier years, and we'll get into it, but here's the car now. That's the current interior, right?
correct. Yeah.
Are those S550 seats you got in there?
Yeah. So they're out of a 2017 GT.
And they're heated and cooled, right? Because I see.
Correct. Yes, and they work, and it works all 3
Was
stages.
it like a pain to mount them, or was it pretty simple? Did you have to make your own kit or something?
So the rear surprisingly was a little bit easier than the front. So the rears you have to do a lot of trimming on the bottom, and then the uppers you have to actually use parts of the SN frames skin
Yeah.
them, put the covers from the S550 on it. It's really kind of straightforward. The front ones are kind of a pain in the ass.
Do they
I would
sit
say
too?
so. It's not as a simple. Hey, I just put on some S550 seats. Like you
Yeah,
put
yeah,
some legit work into them.
they don't just bolt in. Well, if you had manual ones, maybe, but the power ones, everything, the track is part of the seat. So, in order to mount them in there and not gain additional height, I mean, it took some time. So,
Yeah, you guys, it takes work because I'm pretty sure people are gonna see pictures and like, he just mounted seats in there. Like, nah, man,
yeah,
he did a lot of work just to get them in there.
yeah, it takes a while. There's a lot of wiring under those seats too, because everything goes through sync modules, so you have to gut a lot on there. So,
So here's the
I didn't even think about the modules. I forgot about that.
here's the current version right here. We're gonna go through it pretty quickly. There's SloRide. I just want to tell you, and I think Ryan, this is this year, right?
that's pits this year. Yeah.
Yep. This is the current version. I believe I've heard Ryan say this, but certainly with me, you inspired me to get back into the SN95 game, seeing this car online. Yourself and a guy, Jonathan Catopano, a Merchant SVT. I don't know if you know his Foxbody, but he's got an orange one.
I built the headlights for that car.
Okay, all right. So
Yeah.
those are the two cars, and I think they inspired you too, right, Ryan?
Yes, it definitely.
Yeah. Look at that.
Yeah, that's a cool ass picture.
Yeah. What's going
Who's
on with that?
who's doing your photography though?
What's that?
Who's doing all your photography? Are you doing them yourself or you got
I
somebody
know.
doing
So
it for
this
you?
is one of my buddies. He goes by Bicep Automotive. His name is Andrea.
Yeah, that's pretty sick.
He
I like
shot
that.
several of my cars.
What's with the headlights and the fog lights? That's
So the headlights are retrofitted. So I take like a factory Cobra headlight, split it apart, put a projector in it, paint the inners, and then reseal it. So then it actually has a high-low with a projector. The vision at night is like night and day. His SN headlights suck; they're terrible. And then the fog lights. Those fog lights are actually Jeep Wrangler fog lights. The LED Jeep Wrangler fog lights.
pretty cool.
It looks good, yeah.
Nice photo right there.
Yeah, that's a clean.
Look at that. That's a pretty famous picture. You see that online. That photo there floating around all the time. Here's another interior shot of your interior with the S550 seats.
Any particular reason you went with red? Just kind of something you wanted to try out, or you actually had like, I'm gonna do red, or just the seat came into your hand?
I really like the contrast of red on black. My truck has Marsala seats in it. My Fox has red seats in it. I like the contrast. I mean, black is always cool. The car has always been black interior. It's had O3 Cobra seats in it, all different seats, mock seats. But I like to have a little bit of contrast on the interior.
That's pretty cool.
It looks good, yeah.
Here's underneath. You got the Maker's Garage gas tank cover, the carbon fiber gas tank cover.
Yep.
Pretty cool, nice and clean under there. Yeah, that's another famous photo right there.
That one.
Yep, that's the famous one. Yeah.
Yeah, that one got me to buy a SN95.
That's at
That
Tennessee
car-
also.
that car right
that
there,
was
yeah.
at Pitts.
That was where?
That was at Pitts first year actually. So 2 years ago was the first year I ever went. So that was a shoot I did at Pitts.
Wow. Chroma illusion photography.
Yep.
You got carbon fiber there on the door?
Yeah, so there's actually a guy that made those. He doesn't have a company or anything, but he made a couple versions of those, and I have one of them. I think he's only have maybe a handful of them out there, but now there's another company that's starting to make them because it's common on SN95s. Right in that armrest area, the fabric always likes to delaminate, detach there. So
But that it doesn't separate though. It's part of the door.
Not on a 96 up. 94,
it's
95.
weird.
Yeah, 94, 95. That panel can come out. 96 above, it's all one piece.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that carbon piece, it's an overlay.
Okay. Yeah.
Here's another photo. This is I guess this is at Pitts too, because I see the same
Yeah,
photographer.
yep.
Yeah, that's cool. Wow, what a beautiful picture.
Yeah. Well, since we're talking about this, let's go to a transition and let's talk about SloRide, how actually SloRide became SloRide. Because I noticed anybody who has a license plate that says anything slow is definitely not slow. So tell us how you got into SloRide and what made you kind of pick that name.
So the plate actually, I've had the plate since 2008. So that was like the first big build that I did. I redid the entire car the first time. and all full suspension. I did a full built motor on it. It had a Kenny bell at that time. Back then, I mean, that's 2008. I mean, a 600 horsepower two valve was still a lot of power for a two valve.
Yeah, yeah.
So I was coming up with a couple plates, and that's where I landed, and I've had that plate ever since. So
2008. So were you using like the Patriot Performance ported heads, or were you using?
no, so it had Fox Lake stage 2.5 heads on it at that time.
I forgot. Yeah, Fox like was doing some heads back then.
Yeah.
Man, it was crazy. Yeah, because two valves back then, you wouldn't think to make power because everybody thought they were slow, but
Yeah.
you threw a little money into them, do some work on the head, you could still make some pretty decent power on them, man.
Yeah,
So-
and that was kind of the idea. I mean, everybody, it was always the underdog, it was always
Yeah.
the look down on. If you have a two valve, I don't even need to know what it is, it's slow.
Yeah,
So-
because
How
that
much
was a
horsepower
non
did it
that was a non-PI head, so it kind of was
oh,
pretty
yeah,
sluggish.
yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
now, Blake, I don't think everybody knows that you actually wrench on the car in its entirety except for paint, right?
Correct, yeah.
Yeah. So I ran down there one evening to grab some parts from him, and I think we talked for about 3 hours.
Yeah, we were there a while.
Yeah, about 3 hours. Gave a full takedown on his actual talents. He wrenches on his cars. It's not one of those guys that sends it out and gets it done. He does it himself. Very impressive, by the way. Very impressive.
Thank you.
You
So let me
paint-
ask you-
I like renting my cars too, but I only do it because I don't like paying nobody because I'm broke.
Yeah, well, that's the other half of it is, like if there's something I don't know how to do, I'm like, I can buy the equipment, end up with the equipment, and then I don't pay anybody else either to do it. So, it's a win-win.
Yeah.
So Blake, let me ask you a question. I mean, I showed it. What was the car like when you first got it? Like the very first version of it?
It was bone stock. When I got it, it was bone stock. It had nothing done to it. It had tinted windows. That was it.
96 GT, yeah.
Yeah.
Was it at least leather seats or anything? It was all cloth.
No,
or-
so actually it was almost identical to that red one I just got. It was black interior, but it was black cloth tweed.
Yeah.
So,
I know the black tweed back then was like kind of a grayish. It wasn't really black. It was like a grayish kind of color, man.
Well, I think so. Like, there's a difference if you go from 94 to 98. It's
Uh-huh.
true. It's truly black. If you go to 99 and up, it's
Yeah.
actually dark charcoal. So, try and mix match those pieces, and then you really see the difference.
Yeah.
Was it a stick car or auto car?
Yeah, it's always been a stick car. Yep.
Okay.
Did you ever imagine, Blake, that you'd own this car 26 years later after you bought it?
No, no. And like I said, I initially was trying to get a Foxbody, and that Foxbody got sold. So, there was a couple of times that I thought about getting rid of it and getting another Fox, and then I ended up, you start digging into it, and that's it. At that point, it was I'll just keep it, and then after so many times of dumping money, you might as well just hang on to it at that point.
Why did you go with the GT instead of a Cobra?
I mean, back then I wasn't, like I said, the difference in price back then to go from that Foxbody to that car being only 4 years old, I mean, it was pretty significant for being 16. So Cobra wasn't in the budget at all.
What'd you pay for the car back then? Do you remember initially?
In 2000, I paid $10,500 for it,
Okay.
and it had 70,000 miles on it.
What you got now?
Yeah. So it was somebody had it. It had some crazy story. So the car's originally from Hawaii, and they got shipped to California, and someone drove it from California all the way back to New Jersey. So
Or like probably like a military dude or something.
Yeah,
man.
military.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because the same thing happened to my buddy. He was stationed. He bought a car in Hawaii and he came back, and the same thing, he just brought it back. So the car originally from Hawaii.
Yeah, it doesn't have rear defrost or anything either. So I guess it was down there was an option, and it's
Yeah.
one of those glass that it's hard to find no rear defrost window for these cars now. So
So Blake, where did the name SloRide come from?
that's what I mean. It wasn't like there wasn't anything like specific. It was just there was a couple selections I had to try and get approved with New Jersey, and SloRide was one of them that actually hit. And it was more so the fact that it was a two valve is always looked at as slow, so everyone's always gonna think it's slow. So that was kind of the idea behind it.
So what? How much horsepower it makes now?
640.
No way.
Yeah, on 12 pounds.
Really?
Yeah,
20 pounds?
12.
Oh, I was like,
Only
that's still
12.
a
Yeah.
lot. That's still a
No.
lot of horsepower for a two valve.
Well, so
Yeah, but it's,
I have an 8 rib kit for it, and I upgraded the blower from a SI to a TI. So I have yet to put it on, but we only spun it to 6,000 before at 12 pounds. So should make 14 to 16 pounds now. So we'll be closer to 700 with it.
What are you doing on fuel system wise? Like
It's
a
got a
triple hat,
four.
dual hat?
It has a four twin hat with a Cobra tank and ID 1050Xs.
Yeah, I
Holly?
like the Cobra Tank better because of the baffle. It's more easier. And plus, the hat usually does a drop, and you don't have to.
Yeah, yeah. The hat is so much easier than a pre Cobra tank. I mean,
Yeah,
with a lock ring and stuff, just bolt it right in. So
Holly or no?
no, it's still on stock ECU.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. Stock ECU with the SET X4 tune
That's
through. I use a place. There's only two or three people that I've ever used over the entire 26 years of having any of those cars, and one of them is in New Jersey. Wicked Performance. He's tuned the car several times. When I had a full Kenny Bell on it, he tuned it. We ran out of fuel back. That was like 2008. Made 580 before I ran out of fuel. But that combo was like 20 pounds. So, I mean, shows you how far technology has come on those cars.
it seems like now too, like a lot of people want to tune like the new edges, the old school, the SNs. Like I don't know, people just man, they don't want to tune them nowadays.
Yeah, I
I
mean, it's a
don't,
little more involved and it's not so easy as just mail in and, you don't have a wideband tapped in and, it's a little more difficult. But that's why, like, I travel now. My tuner is probably 3 hours from my house, but
yeah,
he does good. He's tuned multiple cars for me. He's tuned my cousin's Kenny Bell car, my girlfriend's E-Force car. So he does really good job. But to me, it doesn't matter how far I'm traveling. If the car runs well, I'm
yeah.
gonna travel for the tune. If it's
yeah,
E85.
you
yeah,
gotta
it's
go
on
some
E.
distance.
Yeah,
It's on E,
I,
right?
I was just thinking that. I was
yeah.
like,
I
there's no
run
way.
I run my 500 on E. I run this on E just because it's so much safer. I mean, just fuel is shit anymore. So if you're running pump, I'm putting boosting in it because I don't trust any fuel anymore.
so Blake, where are you in South Jersey?
I'm in North Jersey.
Oh, you have E85 up there?
So now they just did a new station in Piscataway, which is like 40 minutes from me. But
Yeah.
I work in Pennsylvania so often that I'll just take my jugs with me and I'll fill them out when I'm working.
Yeah,
So
that's
I have like 70 gallons worth of fuel in my garage.
You never thought about buying like a barrel of E85, like the E85R
I
they sell?
I did. I had a 55-gallon drum, but the problem is now think about when you go to refill it, how the hell do you
Yeah,
get that thing on and off your truck?
yeah,
a
So
pretty
it's better to yeah, it's better to hang on to all those 5-gallon drums. I have like enough to do 70 gallons and 5 gallons, and those fit in the trunk perfectly. So
yeah.
I can
I didn't
travel
even
with
think
it.
about trying to fill a whole barrel. Like how you
Yeah,
gonna get it off?
yeah.
Yeah,
Our buddy Vinny does that. He has the 55-gallon drums delivered to his house, and the company just rotates
Yeah.
the drums for him.
Guys,
oh,
I don't
they take them away and
yeah,
deliver new ones. Yeah.
I don't rip through fuel that often, so
Well, but
so
you guys have access to E85 everywhere out there in Long Island. I don't have
yeah.
a single station here on Staten Island. As a matter of fact, the closest one to me is the one that Blake here mentioned, the Piscataway, and that's like 30 minutes away.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
that's why I don't run E85. I just run, pump gas. So, I mean, I'd love to. Everybody's like, why don't you do E85? I'm like, because by the time I drive, fill up, drive back, I'm on a fucking half a tank. It doesn't make any. And I don't. My wife would never let me keep 55-gallon drums in my garage. She'd be
Mine
like,
won't either.
she'd give me that look like, what are you, fucking stupid? I'd be out the next morning along with the 55-gallon right on the fucking sidewalk. She'd be like, "Hey, go." She's
man.
good. If I put 55-gallon drums of fuel in my house,
But
she would draw the line there.
he's running a lot of cars with E85, so he has to
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I don't rip through that much through a season, but I mean, I have it on the GT500 and I have it on this car. But this car does really, really good on fuel. Like for example, at pits, I mean, we're 20 minutes from Quaker Steak, just to give an example, and then we went from the house all the way out to the tail, drove the tail all the way back. Car came back on half tank.
Really?
Yeah, does really good on.
Like
I
20
did-
miles a
I did
gallon,
it
right?
all.
It
What?
does really
He's
good
probably
on.
getting 20 miles a gallon.
I never figured out the mileage to be honest with you, but just based off the tank, I mean that's pretty damn good. I mean, all the way out there, that's an hour and 20 to an hour 30 out each way. So it does pretty good.
Did you
So.
beat the hell out of it on the tail of the Dragon? Like,
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, we saw you.
Yeah, we saw.
Yeah.
we said we was going by when we were heading back, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, so we're talking about the crazy mods you have now. Like, what was like the first mod you did back then? Like, what was the first thing to do to
When
mod
I
a
when I
GT
first
back then?
when I first bought it, the very first thing that I got for it was a Mac catback.
Pack.
Dang, when Mac was in business, whatever happened to
Yeah.
those Mac companies? I know they went out of business, but I mean, like
Yeah,
no
they
one.
went out of business in 2015 or 2016.
Yeah, from
But
my understanding, I think they just like shut doors. Like people were waiting on orders, and then nobody received the stuff and stuff like that.
yeah,
So
A
that
lot
was
of
always the
companies, a
go-to.
lot of companies are doing that.
I would run that catback on literally every car I bought. The Mac was the go-to.
yeah, I like the Mac, and then the little nice Pro chamber, the Pro chamber they had.
It did have a Pro chamber at one point. It did have a Pro chamber on it at one point.
Yeah, that was like a classic right there. Pro chamber and Mac catback was like the thing back then. So the catback was like the first mod you did. You do like a
Yeah.
cold air after that, and just kind of start messing with
No,
stuff.
I mean, Cold Air wasn't even like that big. I think in the early 2000s, wasn't like a huge thing. BBK and Mac had their deal, but that wasn't one of the first things I did. It was catback, and then I did a Pro chamber after that, and then I
Yeah.
did suspension. So I dropped it because those things are ridiculously high stock.
Oh my god. I'm dealing with that right now, right,
They're
Carl?
oh my God.
So what is it on now? What suspension is on now?
It's on coilovers, Maximum Motorsport.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what exhaust?
This exhaust is it has ARH 1/7/8 long tubes to ARH 3-inch X, and then we made the rest of the catback with the flow tube to the bellows is all custom, and then we went to XR1 mufflers, and then I used Magnaflow tailpipes to Bassani tips.
Okay.
Yeah, I like a good Magnaflow. Are they like the Pro chamber or something, or well, you using different mufflers, or you just using the tailpipes of Magnaflow, right?
Just the tailpipes, yeah, just the
Okay.
tailpipe section, yeah,
Yeah.
just for the piping, and then it has Borlas, but they're quick change. So like on each end of the muffler, it has a quick change T-bolt. So I have a set of Mac mufflers that I can quick change in there.
Are you bottoming them out with the headers?
What's that?
Are you bottoming them out with the headers?
No. I run ARH on the GT500 too. ARH is probably one of the best headers I've ever ran on anything. The clearance is great. It doesn't come close to anything.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they make nice stuff. They're just a little pricey, but I think, like you said, you pay for the price because they're
You
making
get
some
what you
good
pay
stuff.
for. You get what you pay
Yeah.
for.
Yeah, well, Cooks
Now you know what to run, Carl.
they bottom out all over the fucking
Yeah, mine are like an inch off the floor. I haven't
Yeah.
driven the car since I took that video shoot.
He's
I
having a
believe
hard time.
I got the BBKs on there, and dude, I can't even pull out of the shop without it scraping.
Yeah, those are known for hanging low.
Oh my god! They're
What, a
so-
BBK?
Yeah.
the full lengths, yeah, they're right there. I didn't think that they made something that cleared. You said American Racing Header.
Yeah. Yeah.
I went out and bought the BBK shorties only because I didn't want to have to deal with any collector sitting down low because the car is low to begin with, and I'll just have the intermediate pipe custom made from the shorty down. It's like a 3/4 length header.
Yeah.
So that's what I have now. So that's not going to get done till another
Yeah,
project.
Bassani made for a while. They made a mid-length header for that car.
Yeah, they made like a
It's really
mid-length.
hard to come by.
I think if you get a group, because I remember talking to a guy from the Pisani about some stuff. He was like, if you get like a group buy, they'll make an amount, but they won't just do like one set.
Yeah. I
Right.
haven't seen mid-lengths in years, but I mean, you have to have a matching mid-pipe from them in order to run that, or you have to have
Yeah.
it custom made. But the collector literally stops at like where the K-member bolts in the rear.
Yeah.
So it's nowhere near the ground.
Yeah,
Wow. That's what
that's
you need,
right.
bro.
That's what you need.
Yeah, that's what you need.
Yeah.
So
Or you
Blake,
could-
what was the first version? Because you've got like 10 different versions of this car. Like what year, what time period? What was that like that version of the car when people started recognizing it like online? What would you say, say that was? What version?
Probably the 2008 and later. That was when it was two-tone. It had a built motor then, had a Kenny Bell 2.2 on it, a TKO, still a solid axle at that point, Cobra seats, stuff back then that was like hard to come by, kind of. There wasn't a lot of Cobra seats and stuff, and so you were paying big money for stuff back then. But I think it's all going back now. It was real high, went down, and now it's coming right back up. So
Yeah, hard to find Cobra seats, hard to find IRS.
Well, you got to feel. You also got to figure that SN was like the forgotten Mustang.
Yeah.
No one gave it any kind of love, and like the gentleman's mentioned to you before earlier, 2 years ago when I saw you at Pitts, I guess I'm sending you messages while your car is in the parking lot, and I told the guy that I was with, Vinny at the time, I said, "Listen, this guy fucking ruined me. Now I have to get one." And yeah, and since then we've been messaging back and forth that you're the reason why the problem started over here. And yeah, I never really looked at the car the way I looked at the car when I saw his car at that event. Because I actually got up close, lay down on the floor, looked underneath, saw everything was sitting right, and like, why have we overlooked this car?
Yeah.
And yeah, it's one of the forgotten vehicles. And I went out to Philly and bought mine, but about a year ago. And
I think Ryan and we had this conversation too. It's everyone hates an SN until you drive an SN.
Yes, me too. My boy bought one. I drove it to the alignment shop, and I came home, started looking for one.
Yeah.
It drives like, it's you drive a Fox, and listen, I like my Fox, but
Yeah.
that car drives good. Like if you do stuff to it, you won't be.
And that's it. You gotta do some stuff.
When they released in 94, 95, I mean that was like a drastic change of body style.
Yeah.
The fucking little wheels and tires. I mean the car looked like shit in its stock form. No offense to the guys that may collect them stock, but
that car wasn't supposed to come out. The SN wasn't supposed to come out. They were supposed to bring out the Probe as a replacement. It was like a last minute thing that they brought the design out for the SN and they made it into a Mustang.
Yeah, I remember seeing some like prototype ones, like they were calling it some, I don't know what else it was, but it was like a mix of a Probe and an SN. It was
Originally they weren't even going to do the Mustang anymore. They're going to stop it after the Foxbody.
Yeah.
It was going to be like the Probe was going to continue kind of like their performance line. So yeah, I'm glad the SN came out because they would have stopped. And imagine us driving probe cars right now.
Yeah, right.
But I still think the SN has a hard time, man. It's 30 years.
Oh yeah.
And I still think they're having a hard time. Like
For sure.
Yeah.
Nobody's doing the stuff that he's doing, Jonathan is doing, and nobody's pushing it to that level yet, like as they did. So I think once a couple more guys do it, I think more people. Like when I saw your car, I'm like, wow, like I didn't think it could look like that, So I think once, like Carl got on the floor. So if you could get Carl on the floor, he's gonna definitely think about it.
check it out.
Since we're on the subject of like back then, like the models and SN cars didn't get much respect. Like,
No.
what motivates you to push that platform even harder? Like, is that what your motivation was? Because like no one else is doing it.
And that's what I was gonna say. Even to this day, I always love the fact that it was hated. I always love the fact that car's been hated. Two valves been hated, so that's what I'm running, a 2-valve and an SN. It doesn't get more hated than that.
Yeah.
Hey, but you know what? A 2-valve is like really dependable, man. You can.
You can make plenty of power on them. You just have to set it up right, and it is a really good engine as far as reliability. I mean, you can do whatever to it, and they'll last forever. But you got to know the stock limits on them too. I've blown plenty of stock ones up, over the years.
I've seen some guys. I've seen some guys in the groups, man. When you get them like the 4.6 versus the Coyote motor, man. They'll some of those guys will die on that fucking hill, man.
I blew my 2-valve like at 375 horsepower. I blew one of the ringlings on the piston. So that's why I ended up building the motor after that. But yeah, like 375, I blew that. I don't know why I blew the ringling on the piston. I don't know.
What blower did it have?
It was the Pro Charger P1SC.
Oh yeah.
Big blow.
No, well, the P1's like the entry level. Like for those models, like a P1's like an entry level, and I was only
Yeah,
making like 8 pounds of boost. So
yeah.
I don't know, maybe it was bad gas or I don't know, but
Yeah, I mean, and
it
that's
blew.
that's that's it solely why I run E on everything because I
Yeah,
test it and I know exactly what's going in. You get 93 with water in it, you blow the car. All it takes is one time blowing it up. So
I did cruise like that for like 3 months because honestly, with the ringling messed up, man, that thing sounded choppy as hell. It sounded so good.
it's the
So,
budget
like,
car.
since you were like one of the first, really, like, because you kind of like adopted this car and you've taken it under your wing. Do you think the guys today would understand how difficult that modular scene was back then when you first got into it? Like, what was it
I
like?
mean, I probably not way back when. I mean, way back when, even still, nobody wanted anything to do with it. You know, everyone was scared to work on those things too. You know, coming from a single cam push rod to dual overhead cam, like I don't want to touch it. You know, but I think it's gotten some traction over the years, but it's still not like Ryan. It's still
Yeah, it's
not.
not. It's
Yeah,
nowhere near the level where like a
No,
Foxbody is right now.
no, nobody wakes up and say, "I'm gonna build a two valve." You know
yeah,
that.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
for
So,
sure.
you know,
Except Blake right here.
Yeah,
yeah, this guy is like, and he backs it up with the horsepower. So it's like I was going through the same thing when my Cobra was blown, the '96, and I put up that I'm gonna do a Coyote swap, and I started getting a lot of hate. Like they were like the four valve make more power than a Coyote, and they were getting mad like that I was changing the motor. So you know, you
yeah.
got
I mean,
far with that two valve.
like I said, they can all make power. It's just at what cost and how much you want to be involved and what do you really want out of it. So, I've there was a point in time right before this most current build. There was a point in time right before that I did sell everything. I had two valve and I was gonna go Coyote, and at the last minute I'm like, I can't do it. I'm just I can't get behind the sound. I can't do it. like
Wow.
I can't do it.
So, guys, I wanna show one of these iconic videos that we talked about here with Blake. I'm not sure if it's gonna play the sound, but can you see this right here?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Battery tunnel.
What's that?
The battery tunnel.
Here it is.
That's on
Right?
the tunnel. Or is it a battery? I'm not sure. We're
Man, I would love to do a video like that, but we don't. Over here in Texas, we don't got tunnels like that, man. We don't got nowhere like where I can do a video like that. Because when John showed me that video, I was like, dude, that is a dope ass video.
and
Did
honestly, that's where it came from. Like the idea, I saw like a GTR or something like that in a tunnel video, a short clip, like 10 seconds on Instagram, and I hit up Sam and I said, I want to do something like this. Let's make a plan. and
That's awesome. Did you realize, Blake, at the time that video was gonna blow up? Like,
no, I mean like literally every time, even when I have Sam do any roller shoots or anything, it's just because I like seeing the videos. For my own viewing. So
did Vortec use the video? Or?
they did, yeah.
They
They
did, right?
didn't. I don't know if they used the. They may have used the tunnel one. They did use the roller ones for sure. And those were literally 5 minutes from my house. The
Oh
roller
wow.
ones.
Did they give you any compensation for using your stuff, or they just kind of ask for your
it's
permission?
the same thing.
No, nobody's giving me nothing.
Pay for
Yeah,
that
man.
doctor, right?
I'll,
Do you have
I'll come to that thing where like, hey, if everybody wants to use anything, hey, you gotta fork over some money, man. Because I paid out of pocket for
Yeah.
this stuff.
So,
But
do you
Blake,
like I
have
said, I mean, I'm gonna make the videos anyway. I don't care if 10 people likes it or 10,000 people likes it. It's just for me. So it's cool that they use it at the same time. But I'll take some free stuff from Vortex. You know?
do you have a number on the car that you got into it?
Like I said,
Roughly. We're not holding you to it.
yeah. Like I said earlier, this car isn't. There's no intent to ever get rid of it. It's never getting sold, so it doesn't matter. You know, there's nothing to keep track of.
Six figure?
It easily,
Probably is.
yeah,
Over the years. It's
yeah,
probably six figure.
yeah. Oh yeah, without a doubt, especially over the
no,
years.
come on,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
He's
So,
got six figures in just wheels over the last 26.
So, Blake, what year was that video approximately that I just showed? Do you remember?
That was
Last
that was
year.
yeah, that was probably like 6-8 months ago.
Yeah, last year.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when you posted that video, how fast did it spread?
Um, Actually, that one, I mean, it got quite a bit of traction quick, but the other ones that are on the simple road behind my house, those were like 20,000. Like I every time I open my phone, like constant notifications and stuff. So, but you think the simple one, like right behind my house, driving around, just I have Sam's camera car following me, simple deal, and it exploded. So.
So the other one that I'm going to show second
Yeah.
is the one that really hit. But the
Uh,
one driving around in the city with was that the battery? No, that's not the battery tunnel.
So
That's the
Yeah.
even that one, I mean, the city ones, they did well, but the ones on the basic road that it took not even a fraction of the time that the city one did even better.
It's amazing the way that works,
Crazy.
right?
Yeah.
I kill a video here. This
Yeah.
is going to hit, and then just the simple driving down the street.
But the city one was like, it was super fun to make that video. I mean, we spent a lot of time making it, but it was really fun to do.
I was asking
What
about how much time did it take? Because it's crazy how people think that videos are easy to make. 15 seconds can take hours. So how much time do you have just in filming
Uh,
that clip?
Any of the city content, we spent like 7 hours doing all that stuff.
Wow.
Yeah,
Sammy's
we
pretty quick. He's pretty
yeah.
quick in delivering raw footage at the end of his edits. He's pretty
Yeah,
quick.
yeah. I mean, by the time we were done, we finished that shoot at like 3:30 in the morning, and then I loaded up and had a trailer back, and then I think he had stuff ready to roll within 4 days. So, and to go through 7 hours of content to make that quick, he's good.
Yeah,
did you spend 7 hours out there because you were stuck in traffic?
No, no. So, and that was the biggest thing, was trying to figure out when to go to the city where we would have enough room to do it without being blocked by a bunch of traffic. So we ended up doing it on a Monday night. We started in Jersey City, took some shots in Jersey City for a couple hours, and by the time we started doing tunnel shoots, it was 10:30, 11 o'clock on.
No
And then
issues with like any law enforcement out
no,
there?
actually, it was funny because we were driving through the city to another spot to shoot some still content with all the lights and stuff, and a cop van came next to us over the microphone and said, "Wow, that's a sick car," on the microphone to us.
That's cool.
So he's driving around like with a boom in the back of like a pickup truck, like.
So he has like a 4Runner, and he has a big rig that goes on the front and the back. So it depends if he's following or if you're whatever side you're on, but he'll change it around. So.
So this thing is noticeable. You're riding.
Oh yeah. You know what's going on. So I mean, it does attract attention. There were some people like on the West Side Highway that were seeing us shoot, and they were coming up and videoing us and yelling and whatnot while we were doing it. So I mean, it was a really fun time doing it. We did hit a little bit of traffic, and I did have a little bit of a bottom out once, but overall it was pretty good.
That's to me. I think that's one of the most recognizable SN95 videos
Yeah.
ever, right, guys? I mean,
Yep.
that's so. I want to talk to you about like the rebuilds and the evolution, right?
Yep.
How many major versions of SloRide have there actually been?
I mean, I would say as far as major, there's only probably been two major. Maybe the one in '08 and then the most recent one. There's been a lot of in-between ones, stock motors, built motor NA, and lots of blown up motors, solid axles, 99 IRS, 04 IRS. So there's been a bunch of in-betweens, but the two majors, what I think would be that '08 and '08 to 10, somewhere around there, that build, and then the most current one, which I did I think I finished that one in 23 now. So the most current.
And why you went from the 99 to the '04 rear? IRS.
'04 IRS is better. 99 is 28 spline. The axles are a little weaker. They have 28 inner and outers.
Did you break it?
No, I never broke it.
Okay.
No, I never broke it. Actually, that IRS is still living on in my buddy's Foxbody.
Okay.
Yeah, 'cause with the 04, 03s, or what, a 31 spline, right?
31
Yeah.
inner and outer.
Yeah,
Yeah,
31.
yeah. And there's
Okay.
some differences on the spindles in 99 where the bearing isn't serviceable, so you have no choice, to get replaceable spindles at that point. So
You used to be able to get those 04 rear ends like pretty cheap, but now they're like maybe like $3,000 for just.
I just had that conversation with someone the other night, and I've had the IRS in my car for 15 plus years. So when I got that IRS, it was like that wasn't the thing to do back then. Everybody was going solid axle and Cobras.
Yeah.
Get rid of the IRS. So you could pick up a 99 RS for $600. You can get an 0304 for $900. Now
Yeah.
they're $3,000, $3,500.
Yeah, now it's like $3,000 because my buddy was looking at because he bought a Cobra and it has a solid axle, and he's like, man, I want to go back to an IRS. So we're
Yeah.
looking, and I'm like, dude, it's like $3,000 now, and that's not even including the half shaft. That's just the cradle.
Yeah, they're expensive now.
The
But I'll never go back. I mean, I think the ride is so much better.
you put the 03, 04 IRS. You added more power to the car. Is that ultimately what it was? You wanted to?
No, so I had the 99 in there for years, and I never had any issues with it, but I came across an 0304 for a good deal, so I picked that one up, and then I sold the 99. So, and at this point, I mean, it works out better. It has better gearing than the earlier one, and I like the 355 in it, so I keep the 355.
So which rebuild cost you the most money and was the hardest? The two-tone 08 or the current one?
This one, without a doubt, is definitely the most money for sure. But this is also my favorite version of the car.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Was there ever a point when you almost gave up on this car, Blake?
Surprisingly, no. I did leave it to the side for a little bit. I think from 2016 to 2018, it sat for like 4 years. I didn't do anything with it. Nothing. So I
Yeah,
kind of
most people saw the projects like after one rebuild. Why'd you keep rebuilding this car?
I don't know. I really don't like. I don't know.
It's the craziness in those guys where we just gotta constantly keep throwing money on these cars.
Yeah. I guess because it's kind of at the same time. What are you going to do with it at that point, and what are you going to get for it? If it needs a rebuild at that point, you're not going to.
Yeah.
You might as well hang on to it. You might as well continue on.
I usually sell my car after the first rebuild, but I stopped lately. They're becoming harder to find. So
What's that?
now I'm just any car, because
Yeah.
any of my cars, I'll sell them
Yeah,
all.
yeah.
But now I stop. Carl is trying to teach me a little something, so I'm trying to listen. I'm trying to listen, So I keep selling them.
They don't want to listen to the old guy,
No, I'm listening. I'm listening. John don't want to listen.
Stop. Don't bring me in.
John don't want to listen. John is just on fire.
Was there ever a version of the car that you were like happy with and then just tore
I
it
was
apart?
really happy with the like the 2008 version with the Kenny Bell. The car was a monster. It was super fun at that point. But it wasn't finished either. Like I said, we ran out of fuel, so it needed some more stuff too. And then it just kind of I ended up parting out at that point, and that's kind of when it sat for a little bit after 2016. And then I'm like, I'm gonna bring it back. And even when I brought it back, it was like a stock motor, and I had a Kenny Bell 2.1 on it, and that didn't last that long before I blew it up. So,
Damn.
and then I had another stock motor head swap with cam after that, and then I pulled everything apart to paint the car, and it was never supposed to get to where it is right now. Even now, I mean, it's not a show car to me. I didn't never intend it to be a show car. I tore it apart to paint it, and it kind of spiraled. It was, okay, I'm here, and now I'm doing this, and I'm doing this, so I end up redoing everything again, and while I'm in here, I'm replacing essentially everything. So,
Well, Blake,
I'm here.
give everybody a little bit of a bio of what you do for a living too.
I sell collision equipment to body shops. So
There you go. So he knows the good guys and he knows the bad guys.
So did you get a hook up on your paint job then and doing all the work?
I did. Yeah, one of my customers painted it for me. So
Do you-
What are painting prices going nowadays around your area?
even the difference from 3 years ago to now is crazy because material has gone through the roof.
Yeah.
Everything's so expensive now. I mean, it's really hard to say, based off of body work or not, or if it's just a quick, scuff and shoot.
Well, let's just say a clean donor, but it needs a full paint, but you want door jambs, like trunk, hood. You know what I mean?
Well, Lee, you got to
I know.
keep in mind,
10 plus.
everything has to be stripped. It's not a simple scuff and shoot at that point because
Yeah.
the new paint will chemically react to the old paint that's underneath.
Yeah.
So if it's
Well,
not,
that's what I'm asking. Like
yeah,
to do, say the car was clean, but it didn't need no major body work, but you want to do a good paint job.
Yeah, and then even if you're doing jams and the color change, you're doing the engine bay too, and
Yeah.
doing a color change is a huge undertaking. I don't think people understand how much that takes to do a color change on a car,
So
even a
probably like
jam.
so probably like a minimum like 10K maybe.
Easily. I mean, it's probably
Easy.
well more than that. Yeah,
mhm.
easily 10 up. Yeah, no
Don't
doubt.
change your don't change your colors on your car, guys. Anybody who's listening, don't change the
But you
color.
can't be. But there's still guys dying on the hill in the groups out there that say they can paint the car for 3K.
Yeah, I mean, you can, but you're gonna get what you pay for. That's all.
Yeah.
I mean, I think. I mean, the material alone.
It's three
Yeah,
grand.
and
It's three,
even
four
I
grand.
even
More
even
I
than
think too is because
now,
if
it's
people
like
bring
it's pretty hard, and the only people that are going to be able to do that is like somebody's buying mass surplus, like a Mako, you know?
yeah, I think most people who think paint jobs are cheap are like maybe they're probably barely getting back into the scene. So they're thinking of the prices back then, and then they hear a price now, they're like, "What? You crazy?" But like
Materials,
us, we're constantly in it. We kind of know, like, "Hey, man, these are the prices now, man."
yeah, stuff is crazy for paint work now. Materials are
Yeah.
crazy.
So you touched on this a little bit earlier, Blake. What made you ultimately stay loyal to the modular, two valve platform rather than going Coyote like everybody else? You mentioned earlier that you thought about doing that.
I honestly, the ultimate thing is sound for me. Sound is huge on any car for me. That's the most important part. So I can't. I've heard some Coyotes that sound good,
Yeah, I do.
but it's just not the same. So that was it. I mean, the sound has to be there for me.
I don't think the sound is everything because you got CCWs, bro.
For me, it is.
Uh-huh.
That's why I got the GT3 over a Turbo S. Turbo S is a better car as far as usability and
Yeah,
power. A
yes,
GT3 sounds better.
it sounds better. Yeah,
Yeah, sound
yeah.
is everything for me.
I had a very similar car to Blake's, same color. I think mine was a 16.
But
Yours
yeah,
is a
mine's 15.
15, right?
Yeah,
I had the CCBs, but other than that, it was I did center section and muffler delete. And that car
yeah,
sounded
amazing.
insane,
Yeah,
insane.
See, for me,
Great car.
I had a 2018 991.2, and I went with the Turbo S over the GT3 because it was the better car.
yeah. I
Sounded
mean,
like shit. It had no exhaust note. I mean,
yeah,
it sounded
yeah.
like fucking
Yeah.
Toyota Camry going down the road. It frustrated the hell out of me, but I mean, it was a fast car. I mean,
Oh
all
yeah,
around car, yeah, which is
way faster, and realistically, nobody's using a GT3 to its limits on the street anyway. You know what I
No,
mean?
yeah,
So like a
Yeah.
911 Turbo is going to do the same stuff. So,
yeah, yeah. I mean, you're not
but to
going down
me,
the road.
it was purely off sound. I mean, without a doubt, the Turbo is way faster. So,
yeah,
Hmm.
Yeah, it was one of the fastest cars I'd ever owned. Just from a dig, that car was just incredible. The way that thing beat cars with 800 horsepower, man. It just by the time they could get any traction, that car was already gone, man. It was booking on people.
yeah.
It was almost unfair sometimes, with the
for
twin
sure,
turbo.
wild cars, they literally do everything well. It's really uh, the engine. You get what you're paid for there too. I mean,
Yeah.
the engineering in those cars is wild.
So what's your favorite part of the current build, Blake? I know that's like a loaded question, but your favorite part of it?
Um, it makes all the right noises.
So
The yeah, the blower, the exhaust, everything it does everything right. Like I said, the Kenny Bell was a really fun car. It would just burn tires at will no matter what. But the current combo is way more usable, but makes really good sounds at the same time. So
What's your favorite part of the car now?
that's it. That's what I'm saying.
Just that?
The
Just the
sound.
blower? The
The
sound?
sound, everything. I
Everything.
mean, yeah. Everything really. Like
It
I
got,
said, this is my favorite iteration of the car without a doubt.
it got
So
cams and all that stuff?
for
yeah,
now, for
yeah,
For
now,
now.
until something else comes along.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I, I was
Uh,
shocked when I found out that car was a GT. I thought it was a Cobra.
And you're not the only one. I get
Yeah,
so many times where people call it a Cobra and they
yeah.
just assume it's a Cobra all the time. So
Is that
Like
that's it?
you assume a Cobra is supposed to look good, right? Like you assume
yeah, yeah,
like it's a
yeah.
Cobra. when I found out it was a GT, I was like, that's a
Is that a
GT. Like,
is that a
wow. Like,
stalker? Is that a stalker front bumper on that, Blake?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. See, that's yeah, because it doesn't. Yeah. When I
yeah,
initially looked at it too, I was like, oh, nice Cobra, and then I think Carl mentioned to me that he's like, oh, it's not a Cobra, that's a GT, and I mean, although I'm looking at the photo here on the other screen here, yeah, it doesn't look like a Cobra bumper, but when you look at it quickly, it's like, oh, it's not a GT bumper,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, and I don't know what it is about it that makes everyone think it's a Cobra because there's literally no badging. I've shaved everything on the car. There's no font on the bumper. It doesn't say Mustang anywhere. So I
maybe
don't
that's
know.
all.
I don't know what makes people think it's a Cobra, but
You ever saw the movie The Raid?
yeah.
Yo, when I saw you in the tail of the dragon and you were
Oh yeah,
coming
yeah,
down,
yeah.
I was like, yo, like that's like a newer version of The Raid. They should take that car and redo the movie.
Hey, so you got a crazy suspension setup and all that. Would you consider your car like a pro touring or more like a resto mod?
Um, it's definitely not a drag car, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But it's more for I'd rather take it on back roads, enjoy turns, and that's why I really like the tail with it.
Mhm.
Um, I would do the tail every single day when we're in Tennessee if I
So
could.
it's more like a pro touring kind of because you like more leaning into the curves,
Yeah,
doing
yeah,
all the.
yeah.
But it's still fast as fuck.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's funny. I'm going to ask him this question because I think I know the answer to it. But Blake, is the car finally done?
No, no.
Is it finished, Blake?
It's not. So there's pieces that I've had for it for a long time that I just haven't done because I wanted to enjoy it for a little while.
So what is that?
And now it's kind of at the point where it's like I don't want to fix it because it's not broken. So I have every piece for the IRS from Maximum Motorsports sitting on the shelf for 3 years, but I don't want to pull it out because then the car is tied up. I'd rather use it right now. But I plan to pull the IRS out, powder coat everything, and hardtail mount it. I'm gonna cut the ears off and hardtail mount it, and then I do have an 8 rib kit for it to run a little more boost. So that's gonna happen after the SN show. It would have happened already, but I didn't plan on doing this SN show. It was kind of a last minute deal. So
Yeah,
What are you using for like an A-rib kit? Is like what do you? 'Cause I know you got to change it for like the compressor, the alternator. Do they sell
uh,
just a straight kit or who makes them now?
no, there's no kit that anyone makes. You have to kind of make it yourself.
You got to piece
So
them right. You got to piece it together.
yeah, yeah,
Wasn't
kind of
there
Super Duty pulleys
Joe?
and
Wasn't there a kit called like Joe something?
GI Joe Ripper kit.
Yeah,
So
there you go.
I think they went out of business a long time ago, but now you just basically source like F250 gas job stuff, like to change the compressor size to 8 rib and the alternator and stuff like that. So I have all the pieces here, and I have a 10% overdrive for it. I'm going to change the combo around a little bit to give a little more wrap on the blower itself,
Yeah.
and then
So
go a little.
like an Innovators West or something.
Yeah, so I have a 10% Innovators West for the lower, and
Mm.
it has a 287 on it now. But I'm going to go up to a 3.1 to get a little more wrap up top. So it's going to be just change it a little bit. So it made like 12 pounds there. So we're going to spin it to like 67 or 7,000 this time. So it should make 14 or 16 pounds now.
You know,
Are
you
you
should be.
getting?
Yeah, go
Oh,
ahead.
go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you should be the first guy at the SN show, right? At Gen show, because
Should
you've been.
I be the
Yeah,
first guy there?
yeah, you should be the first guy there because you've been playing with that car so long.
I know, right? Well, that's why I said I'm like, I feel like I can't miss this show. Like
Yeah,
this is
definitely.
this is my
You should be the
calling
last
here.
person that missed that show.
Yeah,
Man, y'all
so
keep talking about this show. I'm like, man,
Dude, he's been dedicated to that car, bro. Like,
yeah.
none of us has dedicated to a car like he has been to that car.
Come on,
Yeah.
Lee, fly in next week. We'll pick you
I-
up.
I
Well,
know.
I saw in the last podcast that you were a bullet guy, and then
Yeah.
Ryan said, look on Marketplace and drive a
No,
bullet.
I already
have
looked.
a bullet.
I found one. I found a green one. It's like 3 hours from me, like south in Laredo. I already messaged him and everything. Believe me, I'm already talking to the guy, man.
I already
Oh,
have one. I'll bring one to North Carolina for you.
I sent them a video from the Belmore Car Show yesterday, Friday,
Yeah.
and what'd you call it? What's the blue? What's it
True
called?
blue.
True
True
blue.
blue.
And he was like, "Is it for sale?" He was asking me, "Is it for sale?" I'm like, "Buddy, I didn't even ask the guy."
We don't even have to do nothing. He's in.
Yeah, he was.
Dude, that was the rarest color they made. They only made like 720 something in true blue.
Yeah, the green is definitely the most common, but
Yeah, the
that's
green's the more common. It was green, then black, and then blue.
yeah.
So guys, I wanna share the second video here for with Blake. I want to show you the second video here. Can you see this?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Were you able to hear the sound on the first video?
I didn't.
Oh,
yeah, I didn't hear no sound.
oh, I mean I can hear it here, but
Yeah, the
No
sound is the best part.
Here,
Yes.
I'll do it for you.
You don't hear that?
No
You
sound.
don't
No
hear the
sound.
sound?
No.
Ah, fucking screen share. I don't think there's a. I don't
And every
think there-
time you shift, we'll go. We'll do it for you, man. No worries.
Yeah. So, oh man, I wish
How
you
how
could hear the sound.
how about the interior for other guys? You know, you put on a seat. You got music in the car. You know, what else you
Yeah,
got in
yeah.
the car?
So I mean, nothing crazy. Just like all this. I rewired everything from mock to my own stuff to kicker stuff, and it has like a 8-inch scar sub in it. Nothing crazy.
Okay.
Just enough.
hmm
So,
And the clutch.
I'm sorry. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
so you already said that the. I don't think you shared with me, Blake, the drive videos by your house, but I've seen them. I think you shared the two.
Oh, I
The two
didn't.
city videos, yeah. So that's fine. So did social media change the way people reacted to the car compared to like the old forum days, like the StangNet? Like,
Yeah. I mean, honestly, like I finished the car 2 weeks before Mustang Week 23, and when I brought it there, I was surprised at the reactions I got to it. And honestly, the most common compliment is I usually hate these cars. This
Yes.
thing is sick.
Yes. 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 I think
They're
all
gonna
of us
blow
can
up,
say
man.
that.
Look, they're gonna blow up, and you're gonna be like, dude, I've had this car. I have one. I'm good. But that model is gonna blow up, man.
Yeah.
do you think the community was better? Like, because we brought it up, do you think the community was better? The Mustang community itself. You think it was better like back in the forum days, or like today with the social media? What do you think?
I don't know. I mean, the forums were pretty good, but I mean, if you're just getting into it and you're looking for knowledge, I mean, there's so many Facebook groups and so many people in them. I think you were saying, Ryan, on the one that, I mean, most of the SN groups, there's a lot of people in those groups, you know?
hmm
And I think because they were so cheap at one point, they were easy for people to get involved with as a starter car.
Do you get any shit talking comments on any of your posts or anything?
Come on.
I haven't really. I really haven't.
I mean,
He's a
that's
nice
good because you'd be
guy.
surprised.
What was that, Carl?
He's a nice guy.
No, you could be the nicest dude, and just I guess because someone's behind a computer, they'll just have a bad
Yeah.
day, or they just
But
like your car sucks or it looks
I
like shit. You know what I
I
mean?
think
Like,
all the cool guys that's still playing with cars was on the forum, but those are the real guys, and
Yeah.
I think the real guys are on like Facebook and Instagram now. It's just the shitty people that don't know about cars say
Yeah.
those stupid comments.
Yeah, I
Because all
think
the
that's the
guys that knows
downside of
about cars
that's
don't
the
usually
downside
say
of the
that.
social media groups, and no offense to anybody, but there's a lot of people in there like that don't have a clue. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So the forums were, if you were on the forum, you wanted to be there because you wanted to know.
you wanted to know. Yeah,
Yeah,
these guys just share their comments. They don't know. So the
yeah,
guys who knows are the real guys.
yeah.
So,
You really don't get any shitty comments from people.
I really
You
haven't.
shitbox, or I would have did this different. No.
Um, I had
Oh my God,
somebody
Carl.
I had somebody once say they didn't really like the interior,
yes, I was about to say that. You had to get that. Like,
but
why you pick red?
yeah, but that was really it that I can think of. You know,
What else? Anything else?
that's really it.
I must. I don't know.
Why
Carl,
you pick the
get
why
comments,
you
right?
yeah, why you pick the GT?
No,
Yeah.
surprisingly, I haven't got that either. Or, oh my God, it's a two valve, it's a piece of shit, it's slow. You know, like I
The
haven't
car
even
is
got.
too black.
Yeah, yeah.
Why you put a saline wing on a GT?
You don't get any of that, man, Carl. But you just need to go hang out in the SN95 community, right?
Yeah, well,
Hey, that saline wing to me, that saline wing looks like perfect on an SN, man. It looks
Yeah.
looks,
Yeah.
looks good.
Yes.
Yeah, Carl, tell the viewers
I'm
about
sorry.
the same wings, buddy. Tell
Tell them
you
how
put
much wings you brought, Carl.
Uh, right now, the current sailing wing that's on my car I got from Blake, but I have 4 of them in the shop that I purchased that I did not like the way they fit. And I said to him, I says, like, where? He goes, I have one. I said, I'm coming out there right now.
Are they
Look,
from Celine
you can
or
win
who made
tonight.
those?
I said, I'm coming tonight.
Yeah,
you knew if
They,
Blake had it, it was gonna be a good fit,
Well,
right?
he's got OCD, so
the.
now
if
let's say
if he said to me it fits like the one on my car, I jumped in the lightning. I went out to go see it.
Carl, those other ones you have, are they made by Celine or they're made by somebody else?
Well, believe it or not, I did get an actual saline wing. Saline wings have now changed to polyurethane.
Oh, okay.
It is absolutely horrific how it mounts to the car.
Yeah.
And
I
back then they're fiberglass or what?
fiberglass,
Yeah.
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 Full solid fiberglass. That's how you know. Like if you look at the bottom and it doesn't have it cut out and it's full solid, probably a good one. If it's hollow, don't even bother.
So I,
Hey, do you think parts for these cars are getting more expensive as time passes too?
For a little bit, I think they were harder to find because like the hood that's on my car, you can't get that hood anymore. That place went out of business years ago, and so I always get nervous about that. If anything ever happens, I'm screwed. I can't get that hood again. So hopefully, people start making stuff again. Like that was made by ABC exclusive way back in the day. They used to make all sorts of shit, and they don't make any of that anymore. So
That's a Cobra R hood.
it's a Cobra RR, so it's actually higher than a Cobra R.
so what I bought, John, what I bought was a Cobra R hood from from
True fiber?
True Fiber, yeah.
Yeah.
And they make them to order. They don't have them in stock. Takes about 2.5 months to get. But the guy who made them for the Cobra R's for Ford is the company who makes that Cobra R hood.
What was
Did
the
you
name
get
of
it
that
yet?
company?
True Fiber.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did you,
True Fiber makes some good hoods, and they're pretty pricey though. That's a
Yeah,
pricey hood.
it wasn't that bad. It was like I think it was like
It's
780 shipped to the door.
it's
That's
you're,
780?
Yeah, $780 shipped.
Oh,
you're talking,
I don't know why I was thinking like 18 or something like that. I don't know why.
no, you're not talking about True Fiber. You're talking about HO Fiber Trends.
I'm sorry, my bad.
Yeah,
HO
yeah.
Fiber Trends. Yeah.
they're in
HO
Ohio or
Fiber
something, right?
is the one who made them for the Cobra in 94, 95.
HO
did you,
Fiber Trends, Jim
Yes.
Wickline.
Yes.
Yeah. That's. I mean, you want to get a regular Cobra R.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I think that's pretty much your only option, right? Or can you
No, Cervini makes one.
Yeah.
Cervini makes a copy. Yeah, it's not terrible, but the company that actually make it, HO Fiber Trends, was the ones who made it for Ford.
Yeah,
Oh, right.
Jim Wickline. Yeah, good company, good guy. Yeah, but it's a made to order, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you gotta wait like 2 or 3 months. He pulls the mold out. He makes it
Yep.
for you. Nothing in stock. So
Nothing in stock.
that's not a bad price. You said what, 780?
780 shipped. Yeah,
Yeah, it's pretty
how's the
decent.
finish under the hood? Smooth?
it's smooth. Yeah.
It's smooth finish? So you paint it, it'll look good?
Yep. But it's been in
Because-
my body shop for fucking 4 months. So
Yeah, I didn't see it yet. I know the Savini one, they make 2 versions. They make a smooth one, and then they make one that's when you
Textured.
paint it. Yeah, it doesn't look that nice. So I don't want to
So-
change
so
that hood.
Even Carl gets caught in paint gel. See that? Jesus Christ.
and I have a body shop on deck, and they've had that in my rear spats for probably 4 months now.
Because the paint is too expensive. That's why.
No, because they have no time. So
It's like
The
that
paint-
Mystic paint. That Mystic paint is like $700 a quart,
yeah, it's
something like that. Yeah,
paint is
They'd
expensive.
rather be doing insurance work, right? I mean,
they
come
wait.
on,
They're
you
waiting.
know
They're waiting for another
this.
customer to come in.
Yeah, they're waiting for things to slow down. They never slow down. So now, after spending decades with the SN95, Blake, you picked up an '88 Foxbody, right?
Yep.
A GT, right?
Yep.
So why a Foxbody after all these years? I mean, is it just because that was the original plan? I mean, talk to me about why.
I actually had another 88 LX years ago. I'm trying to think what year it was. Probably 2005 or 2006. I had another Fox back then. That was the only other Fox I had. But then this one popped up, and it was a white GT on chrome ponies, and I was sold. Yeah.
It's
Like I
like the
said,
one, like the one you missed out on.
what's that? Yeah,
Like
yeah,
the
yeah,
one,
yeah. Yeah, like the initial car I was supposed to buy. Like I've always had a thing for white GTs. I don't know what it was, but something about white GTs, especially on chrome ponies, like it does something for me. And one popped up, and the deal was right, so I went and got it.
How long have you owned this 88 GT? Like when did you
Um,
purchase it?
maybe maybe a little less than 2 years, probably. Year and a half, 2 years, something like that. Not that long so far.
Yep. Did any of the did anything from the SN95, did it any of it like influence how you built the Fox body, or where?
I mean, everything suspension wise is SN on it now. So,
All right, but
um,
the real question: which one's more fun to drive?
the SN,
Ah,
the SN.
Yes, man.
Yeah,
really,
Yeah.
the SN?
Fox
yeah,
body's slow, bro. It's slow, right? Stock.
yeah. It makes exactly 300 wheel. So nothing to write home about. It's fun. It's a cool car. Um, I just it. I say Fox body thing, so I don't trust it for distances either. Is it going to be a TFI? Is it going to need a fuel pump? You know.
That
Do you have
TFI. I just saw some guy. He made a trunk. I don't know
I
who it was.
saw that.
Did they put the in case of emergency the
Yeah.
TFI?
do you
Everybody
have any
talks
like
about
big plans for that Fox body, Blake?
Um,
No.
I want to repaint the car. It was painted probably 15 years ago, so it's due for a repaint. So I want to repaint it, and I'd like to put Vortec on it.
I want to show some pictures here of the Fox body for our users right here. Let me bring it up. Let me, oh, I've got a video here. But I'm going to just share some photos. Window right here. Um, yeah, here she is right here. What wheels are those, Blake?
They're Oddhans.
Hans. Okay. And yep, white GT. There's another photo right there.
no cheese grater.
What is
No,
that? Yeah, why not?
I like the clear smoke tails. I always wanted clear smoke on it.
You
Does your
you you
does
definitely
your
grew up in the 2000s.
does your
What's that?
plate
You definitely grew up in the
Oh yeah,
2000s.
yeah, yeah.
If you
Right?
want those taillights, you grew up in the 2000s.
Yeah.
If you want cheese grater, you grew up in the 90s.
at least they're not Euro tail lights from the early
Oh
2000s?
my God, no, come on now.
Horrible. But does your plate match our buddy Louis Mike Jones's
It
plate?
does. Yeah, yeah. He messaged me about it. I'm like, is that really your plate? Because I had the same one.
Jesus, there's no originality in this group here. Yeah, there's a video right there. I want to get to the interior. Look at this,
Yeah,
man.
it looks good.
That
Wow.
gorgeous porno red.
How, and, right? And it's the same thing. Kind of everybody hated Porno Red, and now I like it because it's different.
Yeah.
It is different, yeah. Where'd you buy those seats from? The Malaysian
Uh, yeah, yeah. Ricardo seats for sale. He made them for me.
Recaro seats for sale? Wow. That's almost like a perfect match right there.
Yeah.
This
Very
this
cool.
is this is different, man. This is something when you see this online, it just stands out like your SM.
And that's like my 88 LX I had. It had red interior, and I immediately changed everything to black on that car. But I like the contrast. Like when this car came up for sale, I was glad that it didn't have black or gray or something like that. I like the red.
I mean, look at that. That is
Yeah, it's clean.
absolutely gorgeous, right? Look, I think I have one more. No, I have a few more photos here. Do you have any like major plans for this car, Blake?
The major plans are paint a Vortec and see how long that motor lasts. And I'm gonna get a set of custom wheels made for it. So those wheels are just going to be temporary. So
They're going to be temporary.
yeah.
What style? What brand are you going with? Do you want to share that with everybody, or?
I'm not sure yet.
Huh?
I have something in mind, but we'll see.
Yeah.
But it'll be a polished lip with a matte silver center.
A matte silver center.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yep.
All right. So I just want to go over a couple other things here with you. Do you guys have any other questions for Blake here?
Now we're
Yeah.
gonna see him in 2 days.
Yeah.
Two, 3 days. Like we're gonna see him in 3 days.
Yeah, we're driving the cars down, Blake.
Trailer for me.
I'm
Trailer,
trailing.
huh?
I'm trailing.
That car's made the trip to Myrtle Beach so many times. It's trailer time for it.
So Blake, what does slow ride mean to you at this point, like after 26 years of ownership?
New plate coming.
The
What does
actual
it mean?
plate or the whole car?
The whole car. I mean, talk about just the way you feel about the car, your relationship with the car. Would you ever sell it?
No, I will never sell it. It doesn't matter what the offer is. There is no number. I know that everybody says there's always a number. There is no number. Nothing will take it. It's my favorite car to drive out of all my cars. Oddly enough, everyone always asks that and they're always surprised, but I enjoy driving that car more than any other car I have.
I wanna show some more videos here before we cut off here. Give me 1 second. So this is just some videos I took at what was that, the Iron Forge Brewery at Pony's
Yeah.
Coffees?
I think that's it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is, but you were inside with me. So I'm just going to share this here just to. All right, here we are. Can you guys see that right there?
Yeah.
All right, check this thing out, man. Look how clean that is. Look, here's the interior. Better video quality on my iPhone because it looks like you sent your videos through a potato.
Did you win anything at pits?
So I actually didn't even enter the show. I had a VIP spot, but I parked in spectator. So
Oh,
I didn't
right.
even enter the show. Yeah.
Right here is a little bit of the engine bay. Look at this. With the Vortex supercharger, look at that.
Very clean.
Any plans to wire tuck this thing in the future, Blake? Or
I don't think so because I like to drive it, and if I run into anything, I want to be able to have access to it. If anything goes.
looks like I just got mostly passenger side video here. Oh, look, there's something going on over on the other side there.
Apparently that was the good side.
It was tight to that other car on the other side, so.
Oh no, I did get a driver's side video. Here we go. Oh, but then I kind of panned around.
Yeah, I think looks good. Looks really good.
Now tell me, John, tell us, what was the reasoning for you adding a blow-off valve to your Saline?
Oh well, I mean, yeah, I mean, hearing. I mean, I hope that the video it picks up the sound. Well, I mean, right here, I shot this of Blake leaving the show.
Because of that
Like,
blow-off valve.
after that
blow-off
video,
valve.
he put a blow-off valve in the Saline.
Yes.
He had to
So-
change. He had to change a whole bunch of shit.
I mean, the videos, like you mentioned, the back roads. If you go in there, like with the blow up, it's incredible.
I want the blow-off valve too. I'll do whatever I gotta do.
Oh my
I
God,
want it
Blake,
too. Yeah.
I didn't even realize because you left the show kind of early. Because you were inside with me,
Yeah.
and then like everybody was like, "There's Blake." I barely got my phone out, and right here you can see. I'm so happy I was able to record it because I think there's only like 5 seconds, but I got the sound here of the blow off and everything. It's just like
Yeah, we can't hear it.
flames.
I'm glad that you got it because but he got it from the front side and you got the back side with the flames.
But for the blow off, what are you using, like a Vortex Mondo or something?
What's that?
For the blow off on the Vortex, what are you using, like a Vortex Mondo?
Oh, did we lose Blake? I think we lost.
He was
I
close
think we
enough.
might have lost Blake.
Blake, did you crash out on us? Well, let's see what's. Well, listen. I mean that's kind of the end there. So I'd like to thank Blake, even though you're frozen, for joining us today. Tell us about your SN95. 2-valve GT seems to be smiling there, so he must be happy. And his he's gone, and his Foxbody Mustang. So, guys, we have a few more coming up. We're headed out to the. I think we have one more scheduled for this week before we head out to the SN show with Jen this week.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're going to talk to Mr. Bland Chicken.
Oh, we're talking about bland chicken?
Carl's like, "What you talking about, Willis?" We'll fill you in after the show. But I'd like to thank everybody for watching us. This is episode number 5 again.
Carl, do you know what's a bland chicken?
We'll explain it to you after the.
I know what bland chicken is. I don't think that's what you guys are talking about.
So
You gotta
guys,
wait. Now you gotta wait for the episode.
yeah, thank you for joining us. Like I said, this is episode number 5. If you can rate us, we're like I said, we're on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and YouTube. Please like, share, subscribe. We'd really appreciate it. And thank you for joining the Foxbody Then show. Have a good night.
Good night,
Good
fellas.
night. Later, bro.
Take care.